Welcome to another episode of the Mompreneur Huddle podcast, where motherhood and entrepreneurship meets, and we talk about everything. Looking up to me. What we do.
Girl, you's a boss mom. Baby girl, you so perfect. Girl, you's a boss mom. Making everything worth it. Girl, you's a boss mom. Stand on all of your business, and when it come to investments, and baby girl, you the realest. Girl, you's a boss mom. Baby girl, you so perfect. Girl, you's a boss mom. Making everything worth it. Girl, you's a boss mom. Stand on all of your business, and when it come to investments, and baby girl, you the realest.
Yeah, I like that right there. I am your host, your girl, Tammy Capri, the Mompreneur Mentor. Today, I got in the building. Y'all know when I love to bring the money women to the huddle. I got in the building today with me, Miss Jessica Bobo. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good.
Good.
I am good. Let me get into this intro, though, because I'm going to explain my girl, okay? So Jessica is a CPA, founder and CEO of Omniball Advisory. Jessica is more than an accountant, okay? She is a strategic advisor who helps business owners understand their numbers, make confident financial decisions, and build lasting legacies. A devoted wife, mother, business owner, and community leader, Jessica is passionate about helping entrepreneurs see the bigger picture behind their finances and align their business goals with their personal values. Yo, you my shero already.
Oh,
and
thank you.
I hear it because I just love, and I was just telling you a little bit about before we were recording. I just love women in this space.
Yeah.
Because for so long our voices were suppressed. We didn't have control of our finances. Some still don't, and we didn't have the knowledge. But the way like ladies are evolving, in the money space, like flowers.
Thank you.
Flowers.
Thank you.
Flowers. So tell me this. So you're a CPA. It's more than just bookkeeping and taxes to me. Like you're talking about building legacies here.
Yes.
Right? You're talking about longevity. When did you realize that it was more than just numbers?
So I spent my career in corporate accounting. I worked for large companies that were publicly traded, so you could buy and sell their stock on the stock market, or they're mixed into your mutual funds and things like that. Mm-hmm. So I spent 15 years in those back offices.
Okay.
And what you learn outside of, in school and but in practical application is that the numbers need meaning.
Yes.
And they need to tell a story. And we need to use that story that it's telling you to be able to make informed
Decisions on where it's going. So break that down a little bit more, because when you say story, when you say they literally tell you of how to invest. They literally tell you where to invest in, right? Is that what you mean by they literally tell the story?
So as an investor, yes, the financial statements of a business should tell you about the health of that business and whether or not that's a business you might feel comfortable investing in.
Okay.
Now, as a business owner, your financial statement should still tell you a story. What's working? What's not working? How long do we have a runway before we need to make some changes? How long a runway do we have before we can expand, before we can introduce new products? What is it going to take to do that? You can look at the profit and loss statement and get a lot of information. But what is missed for a lot of business owners is actually reviewing that balance sheet. Because that's where we see true health of the business.
Yes.
And so assessing if that business is generating wealth for itself and its shareholders, if it's an investable company, lives on that balance sheet.
But the problem is there's not a lot of financial literacy around how to even read a P&L or to even know what a P&L is. I know because even when I started my first business years ago, girl, I was just making money.
Yeah.
Spending from every different account, not separating things, not understanding what your expenses and I didn't know that,
Right.
So how common is it today? Like how you're very necessary in the space. how common is it today that people still don't understand that lingo?
I think there's still a gap for many people. And, when you're dealing with a population of business owners, which is who I work with mostly, there's some understanding, right? They know what a P&L is.
You know what it is.
They know what the balance sheet is. But they don't know why they feel like they're making money on paper, but not
They
in
don't
their
see it.
pocket.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that interpretation of those financial statements that's missing. And so I think there's a baseline understanding, and you get a lot of people who will put information out there that tries to be one size fits all and blanket
cookie cutter information.
and you
Yeah,
can't really do that, right? Because what's good for the health of my business may not be good for the health of your business. And so interpreting those financial statements is where I come in to help a business owner say, hey, I understand that it looks good on paper, but it doesn't feel good in your pocketbook. Let's look at why, right? And we can go through those motions and look for the issues and then begin to solution them.
I will say that being transparent, me working with my team and me learning, I still bring in the experts to come help me because I need to learn and understand that. But it can be intimidating, looking at the numbers and understanding the numbers. How do you deal with, or do you primarily work with established owners, or do you work with new entrepreneurs? Like who typically do you work with? And if you do work with new entrepreneurs, how do you deal with that intimidation when they are looking at numbers? Because making a lot of money is overwhelming if you are, especially, oh my gosh, we ain't gonna get to my business. But how do you deal with, just that mindset of being intimidated, of even wanting to get into the numbers or look into the numbers with entrepreneurs?
So I tend to prefer to work with established business owners just because a new business owner is not ready to have a discussion with me that we can have a mutually beneficial relationship on.
Okay.
And so, I give a lot of free game away, but in terms of being a client, right, established businesses are more my clientele, but it's vulnerable for anybody, because you bringing somebody into your pocketbook,
you opening the doors,
yes,
exposed,
yes, because we're seeing everything. It's as personal as your relationship with your doctor, the health of your business and the behaviors and things that you may not be proud of, that you don't want to put out there. Somebody has to see those
for sure
in order to help it get better. And so I do have my clients come to me vulnerable. And I let them know that it's a safe space. I'm not here to judge you. And I reassure them that even in some of the large companies I've been in, they've got stuff too.
They ain't got it all together.
Nobody has it all together. This is not just a you thing. Don't feel ashamed. Don't be embarrassed, but at least be committed to the process of making improvement, which is really, kind of to my name, right? Omnivolve is all evolving, always evolving. It's about continuous improvement. Be committed to adopting that with me so that we can take you where you're trying to go.
Yeah, I like that. And this is the Mompreneur Huddle, and it's for moms, but I assume you work with men and women.
Yes,
primarily. But for women especially, like with moms that are raising a family, starting their business, and just trying to figure out life in that part. What would you say from your experience is the toughest part to get those moms on that right track when it comes to getting there, even if they are established business owners? Because just because you're established business owner don't mean you're still on the right track financially for that legacy part of it. What is the toughest part of getting them there? Like what are some of the biggest mistakes that they're making? Is it not putting the money away when they're getting it? Is it not set? You're supposed to set money aside for your taxes and then put money into your investments accounts. And what is the biggest mistakes that they're making?
Seeking financial advice on the
The
internet.
biggest mistake.
Listening to people
Everybody.
who don't know what they're talking about
Yeah.
as it relates to you specifically. And so it really is getting people to understand that, hey, I don't have to align to some standard that was defined by somebody else somewhere that was not about me. First of all, right? And kind of quieting the noise.
Okay.
Right? We got to quiet the noise and be very clear-eyed on what it is that we're trying to accomplish here. Yeah. And I think that's a key part of it too.
Yeah.
Is, as business owners, entrepreneurs, moms, women, we want to do a little bit of everything. And so sometimes we have to even quiet our internal noise to say, what are we trying to accomplish here? Because it's necessary to pivot, but not necessarily required to move into something completely different. Is what you're thinking about going to get you closer to your goal, or is it not?
So you're saying not when you say it's necessary to pivot, but not necessarily completely remove. So the route you're going is not that route, but we talk ourselves into going that route because of who we've already aligned to and attached ourselves.
Exactly.
Is it hard to reverse that in people?
So for me, I paint the picture. I tell the story. And I find myself asking the same questions. Just like if you go to a therapist, right? The therapist can tell you 6 ways to Sunday that, here's what you got going on. But until you accept it for yourself, it's not going to work for you.
I can't help you. You ain't going to waste my time.
Exactly. But I'm willing to have the conversation and continue to ask the same questions so that you see it for yourself and then you want it for yourself based on what you told me, right? If you say, hey, I'm building this business because I want to leave something for my children, or I'm building this business because I want to be able to sell it one day so that I can retire and live life happy and free. Whatever your goal is that you define for yourself, that's not muddied with what the world said you're supposed to do.
Contaminated.
When you get clear about what that thing is, I'm going to bring it back to you and say, hey, does this get you closer to what we're trying to work on, or does it not? Just like your therapist would, And so for me, I'm an end-to-end support for.
What is that?
So what it means is that many business owners will have a bookkeeper, a tax person, another person that they ask financial advice to, right? I bring it all in-house.
Okay.
And so, it's easier for me to do your tax returns when I know what's in your books.
Know everything,
right?
Yeah.
It's easier for me to offer you sound advice when I have a full picture. And so, and frankly, that's where, again, large companies benefit from. They have an internal accounting department that works together to be able to accomplish the goals.
So, question, and maybe this is me listening to the cookie cutter things that I hear, but is it good practice to have like a one shop fits all type of setup? Like you say it's easy for you to do taxes if you're in the other part of the business, but is that safe to do? I mean, is that I'm not gonna say safe. The reason why I say safe because you hear about so many people messing up the books or like criminals. Not saying that's you.
No, yeah.
But is it? I mean, is that a smart thing to do, or should you have different people looking at your books? Or
I think that it is. You can always get a second opinion on anything, right? If I'm keeping your books, I'm doing your taxes, I've gave you advice, go get a second opinion, just like you would to a doctor, right? But you only have one primary care physician.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because when you start having conversations with multiple doctors about the same things, right, you're going to end up taking different medications, and those things may be buttoned up against each other, and it's going to work against you.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have multiple people involved, those people still need to be working together.
Yeah.
Because if they're not, you're going to end up in a situation.
Right.
And I think that's part of the problem is that you have people, small business owners have multiple practitioners across different areas of their finance, and those people aren't working together. Right. So Wealth management is another thing. A lot of my clients come and during tax time, I may say, hey, you need to have this kind of account opener. You need to contribute this to, save yourself on a tax bill. Mm-hmm. They're wonderful. Can you do it for me? No, I cannot. But I have referrals that I can send you to, right? And we're going to work together. I'm going to tell them, hey, here's what this person needs for their taxes. You talk to them about what kind of top risk tolerance they may have to determine what they invest in within that thing. That's your space, right? And we'll work out capital gains taxes and make sure that when things come up, that those things are handled ahead of time. Because once it's done and the tax year closes, you start tying my hands, right? But if I'm able to work with your other practitioners, then we can have a better outcome.
You already know, you already can foresee anything.
Exactly. So for me, offering the one-stop shop is really to streamline the function. Accounting is a function within business. Finance is a function within business. I'm streamlining that. Right? And that's what I'm saying. I don't mind a person that comes to me and says, hey, I've got another bookkeeper. Will you do my taxes? Sure.
As long as you are able to communicate with them, able to work with them.
Right. And there's an element of it where, again, I can do my best work the more intimate we are able to be. Yeah. So be very clear on the fact that I'm going to give you the same tax service that I would give you to a bookkeeping client of mine in terms of the quality of work that I seek to deliver. However, when I'm walking through the year with this other client who I also handle their books, they're going to have a little bit of a different outcome because I am regularly involved in the health of their business.
That's normal though. That's not, I can see that. So when you're looking over a client books and just over the entire finance as a scope, are there warning signs that you see that when they're actually building true wealth or when they're just, winging their business or negligent? Like, are there warning signs?
There are. Commingled funds is the big one.
Okay.
And I always tell my clients, get a separate business bank account. It is so common that people will treat their business bank account like their own money. And it is your money, but you need to remove it from there and put it into your other account. If we're not going to set you up on payroll, you need to set yourself up on a distribution schedule that allows you to take that, depending on your entity type, because we can start getting nerdy in taxes and that costing you money. But, how you pay yourself in your business and how you handle your personal expenses needs to be very separate, because when you start commingling, it can be challenging to not only kind of piece the story together, right? Because now it's muddy with all this other stuff.
It's a headache.
But it opens you up to liability too. That's what we don't want.
Yeah.
So
I remember, I want to say it was 2021, either 20 or 21. Pandemic era was when I learned the hardest lesson about, not having my business and personal separate. That was the longest year ever. When I tell you, when I started working with my team, like just combing through everything and the work I had to do to go find this cert, I said, I'm not doing this again. I am not doing this again. That was the hardest lesson. But on a perspective, on a financial perspective, when you hear the word legacy, what does that look like from a financial perspective?
So I'll tell you what it means to me. And I think that everybody reserves the right to make their own definition.
Their own perspective. Fair.
Their own definition of that. So for me, financial legacy is giving my child opportunities and options that would not have been made available otherwise.
Okay.
Right? And so for me, my husband and I talk all the time that our children are not allowed to get jobs. You're allowed to pursue your passions, but if you want a job, you can work for me. Otherwise, you need to decide what business you want to run, what problem in the world you're going to solve. Now, they may not do that. They may not go for that. They may be like, you know what? I'm going to go work in corporate and take this abuse. And, you know.
Not abuse, but it is abuse.
It is abuse.
It is abuse.
You know, I'm going to work
really
in corporate
is.
and take this abuse. And they may decide that that's what they want for themselves. But for me, legacy is making sure that it is an option.
An option. Yes, I love that answer. What I find with my children, they have all the option in the world. Like my oldest son, he's actually on my payroll. But it was almost like I had to, I don't like to use the word force or push them in, but I taught him how to do my edits. I taught him how to do those things, but it's like he has no interest in that.
Right.
It seems like, and sometimes I look at him like, boy, you see all this work I done did, everything I done built, where we live at, like and you just want to go and work and be simple. It's like, that was so frustrating to me. It's like, because I want you to have options, but he does. Like he's very aware of like his accounts. I bought him a stock program from Wall Street Trapper, just so he can start understanding what stocks are. Learning because he's about to take over some of the custodial accounts that I started for him because he's about to be 18, and I want him, not all of them, but I want him to be able to be responsible enough to move money in there and to understand what he's investing in, and even as I'm learning. So I think like you summed it up perfectly, having the option that wasn't afforded to us.
Right.
I know it wasn't afforded to me.
Yeah.
I'm learning this at my big age.
Yeah.
Like, and it is serious.
Yeah.
It is so serious. How many children do you have?
So I only have one that I birthed, but I got two in marriage, so 3 in total.
Oh, so you're a bonus mom. How was that blending the family? How was that?
So, it's one of those things that I think continues to evolve over time. I view my role as another supportive adult in their life who wants to see them succeed.
Yes.
I don't think it's my job to try to parent them as much as maybe mentor and support if they want it, right? I don't press a relationship any way or the other, right? What they are open to and ready for is how it goes.
Yeah.
And what they are not open to and not ready for, we don't do.
Okay.
And so for me, I'm going with the flow.
Yeah.
Where the wind take us today.
Yeah.
You want some one-on-one time? Great, let's do it.
But the ball's in your court.
But the ball's in your court.
I know being, especially in this is the only time I know. I don't know why I said especially, but I know for me, I come from a blended family, and it just seems so seamless. The process was just so easy. But then now that I'm on the other side, trying to do the whole blended family, I feel like as a bonus parent, step parent, my role is really just to be there to support. I need to build that relationship and that friendship. It's tough. It is tough. But I always like to get women perspective on that, especially when I hear that they have bonus children, because it's something that I feel like is not spoken on a lot.
Right.
It's something that we don't know how to deal with that. I just seen my dad and my stepmom. It was just easy for her. It was just easy. But I get it. I'm coming in as a supportive role too. Do you teach that financial literacy, that financial wealth too? I know you said to create. Well, how old is your child?
7. She's 7.
Okay. Does she understand what you do? What mommy does? Does she understand mommy's building a business, mommy's working from home? Does she aspire to have her own business? I know you said you were creating the options for them to choose that route if they want to, but does she understand that? Does she see you
She does. She does. My transition into full-time running my business came on the heels of me taking medical leave. For just stress and needing to take a step back. I was burnt out and I was not able to be the person that I wanted to be for my family, for myself. So I took medical leave. But she was telling me then that, I should fire my boss.
She said that?
Yes, she did. And so, once I did it, I'm like, Mommy fired her boss. But that does not mean that the work gets to stop.
Right.
So, granted, because of the position I was in at work, I also was still running my accounting department. I was a controller. And so, I'm like, I don't have a team anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have other people that I can, say, hey, here's what I need done, and let's make it happen, right? It's a one-man band, to the extent that, she comes in, she helps. If I'm sending out flyers and mailers, she's stuffing envelopes, putting stamps on. So she comes and helps.
Creating it.
Yes. And I've told her, too, that whatever she decides she wants to do, which is right now is a veterinarian, that she will have her own veterinarian practice.
I know that's right.
And so that's what I tell her as it relates to that choice today. Yeah. Previously the choice was something different. But whatever it is about ownership and about being in control of your own financial future, right? Because a job caps your salary.
For sure.
And even in my role, it was a very nice cap, a cap that
and
we
get content with that cap.
Yeah.
We get content with it. And that what blinds us to other opportunities.
Absolutely. So but, the options are endless.
Yeah.
She and I were talking about summer break because, school's ending. And she's like, do grown-ups get a summer break? No, ma'am.
I wish, baby.
I said, this don't stop. She said, so what job do I need to do to have summer break? I said, well, teacher. I said, but when you open your own veterinarian practice, make sure you have enough doctors on staff that you can take off.
Come on.
So make sure you build it like that.
Come on.
And you can have summer break.
Come on. I love that. And I also think it's important to have a supportive partner.
Yes.
Right. So you're married.
Yes.
Military wife.
Yes.
Yes. How is that? Like how is first of all being that or having that or I'm assuming he does support your business and what you do because you're telling me about the investments that you want to do and what you want to do. But how is that getting to that point, or what advice do you have for couples who is trying to get to that point? Because I know when you said when you met him, he was already in the military, and you were that added on piece, and I love that. But for couples who are trying to get there, for men who are not understanding, and for women who don't have that support, like what is your advice or feedback? How do couples get on that one accord financially?
It honestly, for me, in my case, was letting go of control.
Okay.
And so I, have managed to, be a relatively obsessive type of personality.
You?
Oh, what? What? All the obsessing. That's how I got here. Because I can obsess and I want to control, right?
Okay. And you had to relinquish that.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And that's tough.
I can imagine
that's
the
tough
process
to do. But I think it was made easier, not easy, easier because my husband is patient with me. And so when I have my moments, he let me have my moments.
I love that.
And when I'm done having my moment, he's ready to go with me.
Okay.
And because also he recognizes that I support him, right? Yeah. Having the career trajectory that I did before I left corporate, I was able to work remotely, but I'm following you around the country, sir, right? You're gone for months at a time doing whatever the Marine Corps calls for right now, and I'm here holding it down. So he sees that I support him. And I had to define what support looked like because early on I thought I was being supportive and he did not.
Oh,
and so defining what support looks like was, I think, very key too.
Yeah.
So when he told me what it meant to be supportive, I made sure that I did that.
Yeah.
And so, and I tell him what it means to be supportive.
For you.
And he does that.
Yeah.
So
that definitely is key because how we think we show up for other people is normally how we would want people to show up for us.
Yes.
But they can't even understand that language.
Yes.
They don't even know what that, and it's just something as simple as serving.
Yes.
I always like to say in a marriage, in a relationship, if you focus on serving your partner, then you won't have to worry about feeling the lack or slack because they're also focused on the same thing, serving. right? So how can I show up for you? How can I? You said that so perfectly.
Yeah.
You said that so perfectly.
All right.
So speaking of following you around the country, how is that? Because you just up and leave and go, and then do you feel like you have to start over at every new place that y'all move to? Like, how is that?
To a degree, you do have to start over because the routines that worked in the last
one
location
place.
are not going to
Yeah.
work in another location.
Yeah.
And that could be something as simple as how many days out of school do they have, right? This school district versus that school
Don't move to
district.
Georgia. They always out of school.
Child, my baby's always out of school now. I'm like, why y'all ain't never in school?
Ain't never in school. Like, jeez.
But you know, something as simple as that, right?
Yeah.
You know, and depending on the job he has at that duty station and the hours he may run. So, you know, if he has hours where he's out of the house at 7 a.m. and he's not back home until 11, that routine is going to look very different than one where he's back home by 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Because then you have to totally adjust.
Yes.
And I can't imagine having like a schedule full of clients in the midst of a move. And now his schedule changed. And then, yeah. How does it affect like your daughter, like when you have to move? Like, have you seen any changes in her starting? I know she's 7. How many times have you had to move in her lifespan?
2.
2? Okay.
We've moved twice together. And so, but she was excited for both.
Okay.
She was excited for both. On the first move, she was 2 years old.
Okay. So she was still young.
She was young, but she, you know, I heard you say your baby's been here before. My baby's been here before. She potty trained herself on our cross-country road trip.
Potty trained herself?
She potty trained herself. I was trying to potty train her at home. Mm-hmm. And we were making some progress, but she wasn't really interested. Mm-hmm. We got on that cross-country road trip, and she knew that she could get out of her seat by telling us she had to go potty.
Ooh.
Child,
She's
we
smart.
would pull over on the side of the road. We took the potty with us. She'd go potty on the side of the road. We'd get back in. And when she had to go, I gotta go potty.
Listen, that's impressive.
It was very impressive.
That is impressive.
It was very impressive.
That is impressive.
I was like, is that all it took?
Well, hey, it's done. It's done. Your job was easy.
So she continues to shock and amaze me.
Yeah.
With the way she sees the world.
Yeah.
I think it's helped me see the world better and differently. And so she's resilient about the moves and she looks forward to them. She does kind of now have a friend group that she feels a little more attached to.
Okay.
But that doesn't stop her from seeing adventure on the other side.
Got you.
And she's always down for some adventure.
Aw. Do you see a lot of yourself in her?
Yes. Good and bad.
Okay.
You know?
Let's talk about the bad. You see the habits, because I know when I have 2 boys first, and then I had my daughter. And I had my daughter, my mama said, you about to see what you put me through. I'm like, I ain't put you through nothing so bad. Mm-hmm. But I see like so much. I'm like, girl, like, was I like that? Do you see that?
Oh, 100%. She doesn't have a filter. Neither do I. Wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning talking junk. I'm like, man, I make her some eggs. What kind of seasoning did you put in those?
Not what kind of seasoning.
Seriously.
Do you want to cook these next time?
And that's what I told her. I said, because I prefer Daddy's eggs.
I
don't know what he does different.
Ooh.
I don't know what Daddy's doing different. But can you ask him at 7 o'clock in the morning? I'm like,
you about to get some cereal.
You gonna eat these eggs like I cook these eggs. So she doesn't have a filter.
Your husband like, if you don't get your daughter,
listen,
get your daughter.
Listen. So I sit there and I watch them make the eggs. I'm like, I literally do the same thing. I don't know. You know, she's in love with her daddy. He can't do no wrong.
He does.
You know,
yes.
She's in love
Daddy's
with him.
Girl.
He can't do no wrong.
Daddy's girl.
So you know, you know, she's a perfectionist, which I don't want that for her because that's not a good place
doesn't
to be.
Exist.
It doesn't exist. It's so unattainable, and the anxiety that comes from continuing to feel like you're failing.
Yeah, you put a lot of pressure
and that you're
on
never
yourself.
good enough.
Yeah,
you know, and I'm like, oh goodness. You know,
where do you think she developed that from, though?
Me.
So you're a perfectionist.
I'm the problem.
So you know.
I'm the problem.
So
And her
you
dad
know.
is too. Her dad's a perfectionist
Okay.
too.
Okay.
You know, both overachievers, both, you know, really type A. And so we're hard on ourselves. And earlier in her childhood, I was probably really hard on her too. Because I never thought I had the temperament to be a mother.
Really?
So I didn't intend on having children.
Really?
Yeah, really. That was not on my bingo card.
Okay.
Because I didn't think I had the temperament for it.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I'm developing the temperament for
Okay.
it because she is this walking light that I feel like I have to let shine. And so I assess that I'm the problem and I need to correct myself. And so I'm developing the temperament for it. But I definitely, I think there have been times where I've required more of her than one should require of a child her age.
Really?
Right? And so now, granted, it's made her incredibly independent,
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, I'm part of the problem for sure.
Okay.
And so I work to correct that when I see it. I apologize to her. We'll talk about it. I'm like, you know what? Mommy was not right for, you know, asking, requesting, requiring, whatever. And I get this is where you got that from, but now we're going to unlearn this behavior.
I
And we'll
love
talk about it.
first of all, I love how you apologize to your children. I think that is so necessary, especially when we're aware of our wrongdoings. But I also hear that the conversations between you and your 7-year-old daughter are so sophisticated.
They are.
Are so sophisticated.
They are.
And I'm like, okay, this is
are.
good.
Well, this is why I didn't think I had the temperament to be a parent, because I'm going to communicate with you
Like an adult.
like an adult. I'm sorry. I can't. We're not. I can't. I
My
can't go there
daughter-
with you.
Oh, goodness. My daughter will be like, Mom, you are not at work. You are not a teacher.
Yeah.
You are not like, but I just, do you give yourself grace though? Do you give yourself any grace of, I know, like you said, being a mom wasn't on your bingo card and there's some things that you're aware of that, you know, you inflicted upon your child, but not in a bad way. But do you give yourself grace or are you hard on yourself? Because I know you say you're that perfectionist too. Do you think too deeply on it?
Of course,
or?
I think too deeply.
Okay. But do you
And
give
of
yourself
course,
grace?
I don't give myself grace.
Well, why not?
I'll beat myself up 6 ways to Sunday about it because I think that it's very important for me to let her light shine, because the girl is a light. You know, she is truly a light. And so I think it's important for me to let her light shine, for one. And so when I find that I'm not doing that, I take issue with that. And I hold myself accountable for that.
Okay.
So I'm hard
You
on myself.
militant too. Look.
I am. This is what I'm saying. And she's like that too. And I'm like, please don't be this way. But I have to unlearn
Please
the
don't be
behavior.
this way, but be this way because I'm telling you to be this way. But please don't be this way. Okay. All right.
You
One day at a
know?
time.
So, but I'm working on trying to give myself more grace.
Yeah.
You know, and know that every day I won't get it right. And starting my business and running my business has helped me do that.
Okay.
Because, you know, when I first started, and I've only been, you know, in business for a year now. I left my job a year ago. And when I first started, if I didn't close a client, I would beat myself up about it.
Really?
Every time. Oh, because you need those dollars,
You
right?
do,
I didn't
but-
left this job. I need these dollars. I didn't close this client. And I look at every client that calls me as my opportunity to lose.
Even if your conversion rate was good already, you would beat yourself up about every client you didn't close?
Every client that I wanted to close that I didn't close, yes, I
Okay.
beat myself up about.
Okay.
Early on. Now, if I don't close them, I'm like, good day. You know,
Okay.
and I move on, and I've learned to deal with that.
Yeah.
And so because I've learned to give myself grace in that space, it's helping
It
me
allowed
give
you
myself
to do-
grace at home.
Okay.
So I'm getting better at it. I'm not there yet. I think it's going to continue to evolve over time, which is the goal, right? I need
Yeah.
to just continue to get better at it little by little.
Sure. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Okay. Woo, you tough. And I hear it. No, but I love it. And I love how even though like them type A women, like they're on point, but you're still aware of it and vulnerable enough to talk about it, and it's not where your way is your way. You know what I'm saying? I'm right, and it's going to be that way. Like, so I love it. You could, yeah. Any room or any plans, or I probably already know this answer, but it's not your plan, it's God's plan. But do you have any plans for more children, having another baby?
I do not have any plans for that. I have taken active steps to ensure that that's not an option. But if God insists, I will do God's will.
I know that's right.
But I hope God don't insist.
He's not gonna put on you what you can't bear.
And
he is not.
I think I'd be better at it the next time around.
Oh, for sure.
But I've gotten too far out of those early days that I'm like,
she is 7, Jessica.
She's 7. That's what I'm saying.
That is not too far.
Yes, yes. Once you get that big of an age group, like they're not
out of
peers.
diapers. She's in was it 4th grade, 3rd grade?
She'll be going to 2nd.
2nd grade. Mm-hmm. I done jumped over. That is not too far.
Yes, it is, because they can't go to school together at all, and that's the bar. If you cannot go to school with your sibling, the gap is too big.
Too big. Okay,
I'm not doing it.
Did you ever homeschool? Being as though I know y'all travel out, or is that any plan to homeschool?
No, there's no plan to homeschool. I do educate at home, but I'm not necessarily following a curriculum.
Okay.
So my baby attends a Montessori school, so it's very child-led education. And so if she comes home wanting to talk more about something, we'll go into that. Or if I notice something that I think is a gap, we'll go into that. I call it Mama Sorry when we do it at home.
Mama Sorry.
Mama Sorry. Let's get to it. And so, I have requirements, yes. Right? And so I've added to her own perfectionism. I know I'm part of the problem here, but I'm like, we gonna do this learning for sure, because these options I'm creating for you don't matter if you don't get an education, right? And you can't rise to the occasion. For sure. So
I'm curious to see who she gonna be in middle school and in high school. Like, listen, I see Dean's List, valedictorian. Like, she's going to strive. Like, she ain't got no choice but to strive, and I love it, and I absolutely love it. What do you have next? What's next? What's next for you in business? Like, where are we growing to? Where are we going to?
So right now, I'm a one-man band, and my goal is similar to the goal that I have for business owners that I work with, right? Which is to ensure that we have people, processes, and systems in place that allow us to scale the business. Okay. So that's what I'm working on. Okay. How can I grow my business 100-fold, if that's what it comes down to, without breaking anything within the system, right? So it's about systems right now, some actual software systems, some internal workflow mechanisms and systems, getting the right people in place when it's time, to make sure that I have scalable processes and that I'm able to maintain the personal client relationships and excellent delivery.
Is that possible, though, when you're trying to scale and when you're putting people in place? Because the purpose of putting people in place is to remove yourself.
100%.
So is that possible
for
you to still maintain
the goal is to replicate it through others. Okay. And right now I'm trying to figure out what that looks like. Okay. So I maintain all of the client relationships. Okay. Because I'm an army of one, right? So I do the client meetings. I do the client work today, right? I don't want to. I don't want to do.
You do a lot,
baby.
Like, where's you need a team? So okay. So how do you feel about this though? Because I know with the evolution of AI, right? Like you can actually build yourself an AI team. Yes. Like how do you feel about that?
So I use Claude as my AI that I work with right now. So Claude does build some things for me. So I'll tell Claude, hey, here's what I'm working on. Here's what I need you to produce. So right now, Claude's serving as a bit of an admin data kind of, first level kind of person like that. But Claude and I are also working on building some internal workflows and softwares.
Yeah.
And so, we're working through those things to make sure that it will work and it can scale, because I think the beauty of AI is that if I can automate the low level work, when I do bring people on, it's easier for them to replicate the client relationships and take care of them, because the machines have done all the heavy lifting. Right now, you come in here, you throw on that additional layer of analysis and some emotional intelligence and manage this relationship with these clients. So that's
And that
my
right
vision.
there is why people can't. I know there was a lot of conversation of AI replacing people to some extent, but you need that human connection. You need that social intelligence. You need that. Like it. And first of all, it was funny how you just said Claude and I are working on, right? Claude's the person.
That's his name.
Right. But Claude and I are working on. But it's just like AI is just so like I'm amazed every day. Like right now, like we're AI generating some systems and it's like you really can replace people, but to a certain extent, because you still need that human connection. You still need that persona, because can't no AI shape that. They can't replicate you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to that degree, right, when you're working with these clients, right, and you're helping them in their businesses, because again, as we talked about, it's very vulnerable. Therefore, it's also very rewarding, right? Claude can't have that experience.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Claude can't have that experience. Claude can throw data in out. It can take data in.
And that's it.
Right? But that's it.
That's it.
It can't have this human experience that is a part of what I offer. So, Claude may or may not reach the same conclusions that I do, because again, you got to know what questions to ask Claude.
It, right.
And
your experience will lead you to the questions to ask.
Exactly.
And this is why you still need people.
You do.
You cannot solely rely on AI, but like you said, it's you have your team there, so you don't got to be a one-man band, because AI can help you do some of these things. But I definitely want to understand more about what you do.
Yeah.
Outside of the podcast, of course, because again, I have a community of women, and I think like what you do is necessary as well. And I would love to invite you into the community to speak to some of the mompreneurs and just give some insight on what you do, and give your information to some of these women. Like this is not my area at all, but when I see the experts, I'm gonna bring the experts. Yeah. So I would love to have you in the community. I would love to know if there is a book in your future.
It's on my vision board.
It's on your vision board.
It is on my vision board, and has lived in me for a long time. I just don't know what story I want to tell.
Okay.
And I think that's one of the pieces, right? Is figuring out what story I want to tell and how I want to tell it. Mm-hmm. And once I work that out, then I think it's on my vision board.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to advocate for books. I think every woman should have a signature book. Yeah. Every woman should have, every entrepreneur, every mompreneur should have a signature book. So get it off your vision board. Get it off your vision board. Because I want to hear about more how Jessica became this type A perfectionist mom, now wife. Like I just love it. I love it. And I love how open you are with, again, your awareness of how you are with your daughter. So but yes, anything that you can pour into our audience, I would ask you to talk to that mom right now who may be struggling in that area of trying to understand their finances in their business, or just get on the right track. I know you work with established business, but pour into that mom who's just starting. What would you tell her today?
So first of all, be honest with yourself and understanding the part that you play into the situation that is happening, good or bad. Give yourself credit where it's due as well. So understand the part that you play. Also be willing and open to making change, because we really have to continue to move forward and progress if we want to accomplish any goal that we set for ourselves. Even just to keep moving, you can't stay in place at all. So, be open to making change, seek out information. And when you find something and someone that you trust, stick with it if they're good at what they do, and ride that relationship out.
For sure. For sure. Sound advice, y'all. Jessica is amazing. Make sure y'all tap it. How can they reach you?
So you can go to my website, which is www.omnivolve.cpa. That's spelled OMNIVOLV.cpa. And my contact information is on my website.
Amazing. Make sure y'all tap in with her. I'm going to put her website in the description. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or any of the audio streaming, just make sure you drop a comment. Let us know if you resonated with this episode. Let us know if you have any questions. And definitely share, like, and subscribe. I just thank you for coming on the podcast. Thank you for sharing your expertise. Thank you for allowing me to ask you questions. Some of those were kind of personal questions that I needed to know too. I didn't know if you could tell, but because I'm figuring it out too. But this is why I bring the people who know what they're doing into my life and into my space. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And if I didn't tell you before, I love your locks.
Thank you.
I love her locks, y'all. They are so beautiful. But yeah, we're going to get up on out of here. Make sure you check out Lecce Capri, LECCECAPRI.com, where you can get your designer bags for the designer mom. Use the code word HUDDLE for 20% off of your first purchase. And we got the Master Mompreneur Summit coming up. If you did not hear about it, well, here is where you're going to hear about it now. The Master Mompreneur Summit, August 1st and 2nd here in Atlanta, Georgia. Our theme this year, it's our first year, rebrand your life. Listen, it is not too late to rebrand your life. If you feel like you're at a standstill or at a crossroad, or you're just lost and looking for purpose, this summit is where you need to be. So go to TammyCapri.com or masterymompreneurs.co to learn more about our summit. The links will be down below. Any last words, Jessica?
No, thank you for having me.
You're
and
welcome.
I hope that every mom that's building a business, thinking about building a business, or already has one going, is wildly successful.
Yes.
Because this is our way to freedom right here for us and our babies.
For sure. Our way to freedom. I like that. Well, for now, crowns on, chin up, and you rock the rest of your week. Have a good day.